July 27th, 2020. As you're looking at the Wide Atlantic satellite imaging that's current now, it's 11:19 a.m. Central Time. And what you're seeing, you've got the remnants of Hanna still diving down into Mexico. So just a depression now, getting a lot of good rain. Notice in Louisiana and Mississippi, the Gulf is so active. Look at all the energy there that we're getting much needed. They're light showers, but they are needed, and so that's good. I hope a lot of other people that have been suffering through some of this drought are getting some relief. Now, in the middle, we have what's probably going to come the next hurricane. It will be a tropical storm very quickly, and it will be called Isaias, I-S-A-I-A-S, Isaias. Now, overnight, it was battling a layer of the Saharan dust just above it, and you can see the sun move across here this morning. But there's a little thicker one coming off the African coast, just by the way. But right now it looks like it's starting to group together and kind of have enough strength within itself to maintain what it's doing, and the models are showing that too. And again, it will create enough outflow to keep that dust away from it. But you can see the top side is still being somewhat affected, but it's starting to wrap up. And we'll look at some of the models on it. We'll look at what the National Hurricane Center is saying about it. It looks like it's going to be an East Coast event somewhere from South Carolina, maybe up into North Carolina as far as impacts. And it would be around August the 3rd. So that's a week from today, next Monday. Now, taking a look at this chart, you've got the remnants of Hanna, which is Tropical Depression Hanna now, at 25 miles an hour. And instead of dropping southwest as it's been doing, it's now moving west at 5 miles an hour. This thing could reemerge. We'll just have to watch over into the Pacific. Back here is, like I said, I think will become Isaias. This was 8 a.m. this morning, and it's already in a 2-day forecast, an 80% chance of formation. The shower activity associated with a broad area of low pressure located a little more than 1,000 miles east of the Windward Islands has become a little less organized since last night. Now, this is from the National Hurricane Center, and right there you can see the remnants of the hurricane. It's Tropical Depression Hanna now. Sustained winds are 25 miles an hour, and you still got rain involved. But instead of moving southwest like it did after it came into Texas and dropped into Mexico, notice it's moving west now at 5 miles an hour, and it would be interesting to see if it hangs together enough to get into the Pacific Ocean, and it will get interesting from there. But here we have a 80% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. This was as 8 a.m. this morning. There will be an update later. Shower activity associated with this broad area of low pressure located a little more than 1,000 miles east of the Windward Islands has become a little less organized since last night. Again, I think that was because of that dust. However, environmental conditions are still expected to become more favorable for development in a day or two, and a tropical depression or tropical storm will likely form within the next couple of days. The system is forecast to move westward to west-northwestward, and that's important, at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and could begin to affect portions of the Lesser Antilles on Wednesday or Wednesday night, just 2 days out. Interest on those islands should continue to monitor the progress of this system. Now notice the 5-day forecast is a 90% chance of development instead of the 80%. Now let's look at some of the modeling. Now this was just updated 27 minutes ago at 12 p.m. Eastern. And when they put all the models in, the spaghetti models, they allow different parameters for each one as they run them through the computers. And what's going to depend or determine where this storm ends up is that there is a large area of high pressure, and you'll see it in some of the other models, that's over this part of the Atlantic Ocean. And so as it keeps pushing downward, that's going to keep sending the storms this way. But when it releases, and it's predicting to do that, that's going to determine where it hits. So we'll be watching it. But you do have the Navy model and the Canadian model, which to me are the two best as far as averages. The Navy, it should be the best hurricane model because they have to deal with the oceans. And we're going to look at a couple of those as far as moving models. Take a look at the Canadian model. This orange area is a high pressure, and that's going to be what determines where this thing tracks. Notice that battle between them here. If it retracts the way the models here are showing, it's going to be the outer banks around the 3rd or the 4th. Notice your timestamp as it approaches there, guys. So that would be, again, next Monday and Tuesday, depending on how fast the storm travels. It's moving at close to 20 knots now. Check that out. Right there, 3rd and 4th. Let's take a look at the Navy model. Now, same thing here. Your high pressure system is controlling the direction. But this becomes, in the Navy model, it becomes a very powerful storm. Notice your chart on the right. You get into the blues and purples, and your pressure is dropping, okay? And the lower that drops, and you can see that this thing goes from blue to purple pretty quick and really deep right here and very widespread as far as that center of circulation. And that's got it coming in right into North Carolina or along the South Carolina border. See that? That's also, we'll put it and look at the date here. August 3rd, a week from today. So they're not that far off. Now, we know that these models will change, but these are the two most accurate year after year. So just you guys on the East Coast, really watch it from Florida all the way up. And we'll keep an eye on it, guys. You know, this is a channel to watch for this stuff. But make your preparations. You are a week out. And just be thinking about a little extra water, food, things like that that you need. And, guys, also, one of our sponsors now is EcoPower. And they are providers of solar panels, solar batteries, solar inverters, the whole 9 yards, everything you need to have some backup power. And guys, it doesn't have to be a big system just to give you a little comfort. You can have a fan, TV, charge your phones, things like that. And you can go bigger systems and run your whole home. But we have those now. Go to BP Earthwatch. Look at the top left. Now, guys, again, go to the website. The ad that you see will be in the top left. And click there. When you check out, it'll come up with, it should come up automatically with the coupon code BP Earthwatch. 10% off is a good bit of money when you're starting to build a system like that. But you can get into a basic system without the batteries for less than $200, or about 100 watts or so. And you can also sign up and become a sponsor yourself for AccuPower. And in these days and times, more and more people are going to be turning that way, guys. So heads up. Be safe.